is a box. Today's jackpot is an estimated battery powers. I'm trying to put it to stone.
I always have this opinion myself anyway, that if someone's in a bad way, that they're in trouble, that people will help them. You know, if someone fell in the street, someone would help them. If the person's old and they look like they're struggling, that they will have assistance. They won't get ignored or treated like they're a problem. But so you have this assumption of someone, if they meet someone and they're blind, that they will be they'd be treated like with dignity. You say to somebody, I'm blind, I can't see anything, I can just about move around. If somebody said that to you, you'd think that person won't be able to write, they won't be able to read, they won't be able to see what I'm pointing at when I point at it. I mean, obviously they can't see what you're seeing, so they struggle to understand, but when you say to them the words, I can't see what I'm doing, you need to help me, they just, it's like it goes over their head. They don't know how to respond, because they rarely, if they ever have seen it in their lives, like I can probably guarantee that the guys who work here have never seen that before. Coming and going every day, you know, when I can see, when it's clear enough that I can see, I am fully aware that every morning when I wake up that it could be gone. And every single morning when I wake up in the morning, I have to do it. I open my eyes and I have a quick check and everything's working. So I get up and I get on with my day. Forget about it, and you know, occasionally during the day I see the odd little blip, little spot of blood floating around in my eye, and I know that any minute that can just, it's like a firework, it can just spread and explode and completely blind me within this period of half an hour to an hour. So wherever I am, I'm fully aware any time it can happen. But I mean, as you can see, it doesn't stop me from exploring. I've travelled all the way around Europe. I've been to Morocco in Northern Africa, which was interesting. And here now, so I somehow wonder how I wake up in the morning and it doesn't drive me crazy, because it is maddening.
Would you be able to tell me, or put it in your own words, what exactly, like, I guess the condition is with your eyes? Yeah,
it's called diabetic retinopathy. I've had type 1 juvenile diabetes since I was 6. A genetic disorder. It's not brought on by poor diet. Well, my excuse for my diet these days is that you can't get diabetes twice. But it causes the flooding of blood into the eye, and I've had to have surgery on both eyes over the last few years. I've had about 5 different rather invasive surgeries. I was awake for 4 of them, which is interesting. When this is your only working eye and you can you're staring up at the surgeon as he's digging around in there like he's looking for lost money behind a sofa. Yeah, when you're under a local anaesthetic, so the rest of your body works. You can move, but you wouldn't, obviously. Frozen with some... It's the strangest light show in the world. It's like a Pink Floyd video, I think the best way to put it would be. Yeah. I mean, I'm 30 now, and I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be surprised if I managed to keep being able to move, you know, see and do as I have been doing for the rest of my days, you know, until I'm old. Because there could be some other problem that comes along, but you live for today, don't you? That's the way I look at it these days. I'll try to look at it, if I could look at it. But yeah, one resounding point of all of this is that I don't actually know which, if I preferred my life beforehand. I sat in a fluorescent tomb, like a box, in front of a monitor, being shouted at by a tiny Hitler of a boss. She was so unpleasant. And every day I devoted my entire life to that place. I'd go in there, work all day, stare at a monitor, go to meetings, go to planning, organising, sitting, producing work, and going home and resting. Not resting, of course, your mind would be buzzing all over the place. You couldn't sleep properly. You'd wake up, go to work, and do the same thing all week, waiting for that day, that happy Friday that people talk about. Yeah, I wasn't particularly happy with it. You know, I mean, I had a bit of money, so I could afford to do things in my spare time, but you used to basically just spend it on the wrong things. You'd buy drinks, you'd eat rubbish, you'd go out. I mean, you try and fit the little bits in, but you found yourself, instead of living, working to live, you were living for your work, basically. And yeah, I genuinely, if I try and think about it now, and at the position I'm in these days, when I can see, I can go where I want, I can explore, I can see, I can do what I wish. But when I'm not, obviously, I'm in this position where I'm just, I'm relying on others to help. But I honestly can say for the little bit of time I get in between when I can do what I want, I never really know whether I prefer this or whether I prefer how I was, you know, my healthy in a job and in a normal life, or as I am now, with the choice to just do what I like, you know. This is something I've always wanted to do, travel around, but I've never had the opportunity, and it's a shame that this is the only way I can do it, really. It's either this or being rich and you know, being like a millionaire. And so yeah, it's a unique perspective for me.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, you're welcome, mate.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Oh, cheerio! That was my attempt at what a British person sounds like, which is nothing what a British person sounds like. But that was my friend Dan. Dan's super cool, man. Really funny, very optimistic, very giving. And it was really humbling to hang out with him, honestly, and it really made me appreciate a lot of things about my own body and the things that we all take for granted on a daily basis. So I want to say thank you to Dan for that interview. So I've been doing this series since about July or so, and it's been so much fun. It's been so transformational for me, but it pays nothing. There's no revenue coming in from this, and I have quit my job 2 times actually, in order for me to do this series full time. And the next thing that I'm stepping into, it's workshops, it's public speaking, maybe a book, and just continuing to do the series. It might turn into a documentary. I really have no clue at this point. But the transition phase is kind of messy, and so what I'm saying is this: if you do believe in the series, if you're inspired by the series, and you want for it to continue in the way that it is, you can give a donation. It would be super appreciated. You could send it through PayPal to my email address of speakreel@gmail.com, or you could send it through Venmo. My username is SpeakReel. And also, you know, if you feel inspired to, please share, subscribe, comment, all those things help to push along the series, help this thing to keep on moving, because I'm not quitting. By no means am I quitting anytime soon, but it would really help a lot. So thanks a lot. Feel free to check out some of the other videos that I have from Seattle and Vancouver when I went traveling out there. So many amazing people, so much amazing content. So if you like, you can check that out too. Thanks a lot. Be honest, be true, and speak real.